107. Yeah. All right. We're going to get started. Get everybody quiet. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We're going to let everybody get seated and we're going to get started. All of you are here because you heard there was a pool out back, right? Welcome to Hazy, Hot, and Humid Chicago on a Sunday. Are we good with the doors, guys? Today's flight will be under the command of. Happy Sunday, happy NeoCon. Good afternoon, IIDA members and special guests. I'm Cheryl Durst, Executive Vice President and CEO of IIDA, and I'm honored to welcome everyone to the 23rd annual meeting of the International Interior Design Association. I think that needs some applause. You, along with IIDA members who are participating via live stream this afternoon, represent 58 countries and more than 15,000 members. Thanks so much to each of you for joining us this afternoon here in Chicago and across the world. Today, we have a very special guest from Vitra joining us. Nora Fehlbaum is the CEO and a member of the board of the Swiss furniture manufacturer. Succeeding her father Raymond and her uncle Rolf, she directs Vitra as a third-generation family leader. We're indebted to Vitra for providing us this lovely stage set and support to IIDA throughout the world. Nora?
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Cheryl, for the introduction, and thank you for making me feel right at home, surrounded by our product up here. So I'm very honored to be here and to support your organization, and you were quite specific in the briefing for this address. You said that this was a fun bunch, I assume you are, and that I should have some fun with you. But not too much fun. So they said no Trump jokes, and please be done in 7 minutes. So I'll try my best. So let's get right started. As Cheryl said, my name is Nora Fehlbaum. I am CEO of Vitra, a Swiss design company. Vitra is also a family business. It was founded by my grandparents, who you're seeing here, Willy and Erika, in the 1930s, originally actually as a shop fitting company. They then got into furniture after Willy discovered a product by the Eameses, the plywood chair, in a New York shop window in the 1950s. And he obtained the rights to manufacture and distribute these products for Europe and Middle East. With this, I would like to say hello to our friends from Herman Miller in the audience. As you will probably know, hi. Herman Miller owns the rights for the rest of the world. That's not a joke. In the 1970s, my grandparents got into the growing, booming office market, and then shortly after that, handed over to the second generation, their sons, Rolf and Raymond, my father. Rolf and Raymond led the company very successfully. They internationalized it. The American subsidiary was founded over 30 years ago in 1985. But they also started something that's very important to us until today, and that really influences us every day. They started the cultural mission of the company, which is really manifested on the Vitra campus on the border between Germany and Switzerland. It started with the foundation of the Vitra Design Museum in 1989. The Vitra Design Museum is an independent cultural institution that curates and exhibits on the world of design and architecture. The exhibitions then tour the world. So right now, actually, in your country, we are touring an exhibition on the great American interior designer Alexander Girard, so look out for that. The cultural mission also includes the campus architecture with buildings by Tadao Ando, or the first building by Zaha Hadid in the picture, or Sana or Herzog de Meuron. It also includes the world's largest collection of design objects, an archive of over 20,000 pieces, which we made accessible to the public only last year. And many, many offers to create our knowledge, to make our knowledge about the world of design and architecture available to as many people as possible, through workshops, for example. In 2004, we opened a new chapter for the company by launching the Vitra Home Collection. And only 4 years ago, a new company joined our family, Artec, a small Finnish design company that is 1 year older than Vitra, and was founded by the great Alvar Aalto to distribute his products internationally. Shortly thereafter, our generation took over, and you know me now, so I'll move on. But really, 3 generations, but the task has stayed exactly the same. We are constantly looking for new and surprising products that we combine with the best of the past and apply the same very high quality standards to everything that we do. But really, our products are just tools, just the ingredients required to create an environment. They are not worth very much if they are not applied skillfully by a master with his or her own mission. You are these masters, and I'm very happy to be able to express our appreciation for what you do through this address. We spend 87% of our time indoors, surrounded by what you do. So you are constantly influencing our thoughts and feelings. We all know the experience of arriving in a beautiful hotel lobby after an exhausting trip, or having coffee in your local cafe around the corner, or maybe arriving in a new workspace before you meet your colleagues for the first time. You curate all of these experiences. We make these environments on our own, for our own spaces, where, by the way, all of these images are coming from. And for our own environments, we work with the great interior designers of today, like Seville Peach in this image, or Ilse Crawford, where these are coming from, or India Madhavi, an Iranian working from Paris. Through our work with them, we really know how much thought, how much hard work and meticulous attention to detail is required to create a truly holistic environment. We experiment with interiors in our own spaces, in the Vitra house or on the Vitra campus, trying to make our 400,000 visitors each year think about their own surroundings, their homes and their offices. Now you might think, why does she keep rambling on about this space that is so far away in Switzerland? Well, I'm trying to get you to come and visit me. I know that's very exciting, but before you run out and board a plane to faraway Switzerland, for the next 2 days I'm actually here in Chicago on the 11th floor, so come visit me in the Vitra showroom. I look forward to meeting you all. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nora, and thank you, Vitra, for your generous support. So, many of you are veterans of the IIDA annual meeting. You know how much you love to have your mimosa before you get here, and then join your IIDA colleagues and industry colleagues. For those of you who are new to the annual meeting, we always make a promise to keep this meeting energized, entertaining, and fast-paced. In exchange, what we ask of you is silence your gadgets and devices, put it on high vibrate for that extra thrill, but we don't want to have any potential interruptions to our annual meeting. And for those of you who are live streaming, you know what? Take your pants off. Have a great time. Hashtag no pants. Yep, that's right. So, you know what to expect at this annual meeting of the association. Shortly, you're going to hear from International President Marlene Liriano in her final presidential address. You're going to hear about some initiatives and business that the association has conducted over the past year. We're going to celebrate some success, and we're going to recognize some exceptional members of the association and of the design community. And then we'll induct our International Board of Directors. On behalf of the International Board, who are all these folks seated up here, as well as our foundation trustees, I offer a very, very special welcome to our members, to our industry members, to friends, and to guests. Also in the audience, we know that we have representatives from many of the organizations that, along with us, support design excellence. If you are representing CIDA, CIDQ, AIA, BIFMA. I see my friend Tom Banks and Carrie Frontera from CIDQ right up front, as we would expect CIDQ to be. Welcome to all of you. We talk about the importance of gratitude and recognition, so we're going to do a little bit of gratitude and recognition right now and recognize the leaders of IIDA. Many of you know our origin story. IIDA was created in 1994 when 3 organizations merged. I would like to, as we do at every annual meeting, recognize the leaders who served in those predecessor organizations. If any leaders of IBD, past leaders of IBD, ISID, or CFID are in the audience, would you please stand? That's okay. And if any of you were part of the unified voice effort that sat at a table and sweated and yelled and made this organization happen, would you also please stand? What would it have been like to be in that room trying to merge 3 organizations? God only knows. Would, and I know you all are here, past international presidents of IIDA, as well as any past international board members, please stand. As always, thank you for your commitment to IIDA in the years that you served and your continued commitment to this organization. We'd like to recognize the members of the IIDA College of Fellows who are here today. A little later, we're inducting 4 new members of the College of Fellows, but would current fellows please stand? And would our chapter leaders, if you are currently a chapter president, president-elect, president-elect-elect, or if you serve on the board of your chapter, would you please stand and be recognized? Chapter leaders, thank you for all that you provide. The hours that you spend in meetings, serving on committees, putting your firm's miscellaneous billing code to use for IIDA. You know who you are. Only because I don't know if they're here, would any members of the Durst family please stand? Right. That was purely gratuitous, but I didn't get a text that you guys got here, so Troy Durst and Gabe Durst, thank you for being here. All right, so everyone should feel welcomed, and let's talk about, when you guys entered, I should know this, but now I'm totally jumping off script. Anastasia, did everybody get a pin? Awesome, that worked out nicely. Each year, we try to have something symbolic of our place in the world, IIDA's place in the industry. It's a slight branding moment for us as an association. This year, our pin says design, disrupt, shape, shift. really saying that carefully. Because it would be really bad if I stood up here and said, design, disrupt, shape, shit. That would be bad. So those four things, design, disrupt, shape, and shift, are things that we do as individuals. They are things that we do as designers. They are things that this profession does, and it's absolutely what IIDA does. So we want you to wear that proudly and as a reminder to own design, shape the world, shift the point of view, and disrupt your ass off, because the world needs it. Normally at this point, I talk briefly a bit the theme that we just talked about and how it resonates for the association. And one thing I just want to mention before we move on to the meeting, I really loved what Nora said about being on a cultural mission. And each of us in our own way are on an individual cultural mission. And I think for our entire industry, and you guys hear this all the time, and I feel like we say this every year. Now more than ever, design is more important than any other point in time. And I don't ever want those words to be trite or feel trite, because I think at whatever point that first designer, millions of years ago, someone who adapted and adjusted their environment to make life better for themselves and others, design, just as that person did that, design continues to remain relevant. I know sometimes we get very tired of hearing about our moment, but what strikes me is that it's always our moment as designers and in this industry. And I, for one, in my role as the CEO of IIDA, I'm so proud to be able to speak endlessly about the power of design, because design evokes, it embraces, it engages, it communicates, and it defines culture and society. And I can't think of any moment in time, as in right now, where we need the grace, the civility, and the absolute necessity of what we all do and what we all bring to the world. So thank you all for being on a cultural mission each and every day of your lives. And now, please join me in welcoming Marlene Liriano to the podium to deliver her presidential remarks.
I didn't have to wait till the end this time. Good afternoon, IIDA. I'd like to take a moment to welcome our members, my team from IA Interior Architects and my Miami peeps, the students from Florida International University, my alma mater, and the many enthusiastic supporters and friends who have joined us today, both in the audience and online. I would also like to pay a special welcome to the esteemed IIDA fellows who are here. Welcome to the 2017 IIDA annual meeting. I'm Marlene Liriano, the outgoing president of the 2016-2017 Board of Directors for the International Interior Design Association. I would like to personally thank our returning board members and give a special welcome to our new member, Annie Chu. I would also like to extend my gratitude to Cheryl Durst, Dennis Krause, and the dedicated staff at IIDA headquarters for their diligent work and constant support. It has made for a truly exciting, successful, and very busy year. I am so proud to have served as president of IIDA. A year ago, when I stood here and accepted this position, I talked about my priorities as board president. First, I promised to continue promoting our growth abroad, and as a Cuban American, enhancing our association's efforts in Latin America were particularly important to me, and we continue to expand opportunities for participation in this region. The Best Interiors of Latin America and the Caribbean competition, now in its 5th year, continues to recognize design excellence in this region. We also had a special opportunity to engage with designers in Mexico. Thanks to Shaw's generous support, my fellow Latino board members, Julio, Edwin, and Susana, and I participated in a lively panel discussion moderated by Cheryl in Mexico City, where we highlighted the international business of interior design, reconnected with chapters that are very close to our hearts, and ignited conversation about our changing industry. The association's international expansion also extended to Europe and Asia. Our first ever booth design competition at Orgatech was a huge success. Our board also participated in panel discussions at the Orgatech trade show in Germany and Maison d'Objet in Paris, opportunities that brought our thought leadership to international audiences. And in Hong Kong, IIDA launched the anticipated 3rd installment of the What Clients Want book series. It was a lot of whirlwind travel, to say the least. As president, I also wanted to enrich the IIDA membership experience of students and young designers. And over the past year, IIDA committed additional resources to this population of members, including adding a position dedicated to serving students with new programming. Ryan Ben, our Student Engagement and Advancement Manager, is doing a fantastic job. In addition, OFS Brands generously sponsored the inaugural Student Roundtable, a unique opportunity for students in 4 cities to talk with professionals about the future of our industry. The report is available on the IIDA website, and if you haven't already, I hope you will check out this valuable resource. Finally, I'd like to talk about our advocacy efforts. This year, the critical need for interior design advocacy hit close to home for me when we found ourselves fighting interior design deregulation in Florida, one of only 2 states where designers can sign and seal drawings. Emily Klasinski and Abby Rathbun, our advocacy team at headquarters, supported local chapters and coalitions, and together mobilized more than 4,000 advocates who called and emailed representatives asking them to reject this proposal, and they were successful. But Florida wasn't the only state that benefited from the association's commitment to advocacy. Over the last year, the team at IIDA has supported efforts to expand or protect our industry in Virginia, Iowa, New Mexico, New Jersey, Ohio, Louisiana, Oregon, North Carolina, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Illinois, New York, Texas, and California. So a big thank you to you, Emily and Abby, as well as those of you who spend your time and energy advocating for our profession. And lastly, I'm so pleased to have been president during such an exciting time of growth in our association's history. Our newly relocated headquarters will be a hub of design activity for all members and the design community at large. It's beautiful. You need to go see it. I hope you'll all join us tomorrow at the open house to celebrate this achievement of workplace design with a cocktail or 2 or 3. So before I hand over the reins to our new president, James Kerrigan, I want to thank you. It was rewarding to meet so many of you from around the world. You're doing an amazing work and embracing design in new and exciting ways. And lastly, I want to thank my 2 children, Brianne and Brian. They are my world and they give me inspiration. And my husband of 33 years, who has been by my side on this journey and continues to support me every day. Thank you, baby. I am honored to have served in this role. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon and a great NeoCon.
Marlene drops the mic. Gotta love a good Bitmoji. So, in life, we sometimes pivot. In life, in work, in relationships. Companies do it, organizations do it, sometimes entire countries pivot. IIDA is about to make a pivot. You'll notice that Marlene said that she was going to be handing the reins over to the new president of IIDA, James Kerrigan. A year ago, that's not what we talked about. The organization has made a strategic decision that we need to put time, money, resources, and important effort and a passionate individual to focus and concentrate on engaging students. It's our most important community. I won't say it's our underserved community, but for all of us, student members and future student members who are future professional members of IIDA need time and focus. Marlene invoked Ryan, who's taken over the role of engagement manager for student memberships, for student members. We're putting time and effort, expertise, and dollars behind a global student outreach. And you need a magnetic personality who's passionate about the student market to harness that effort. So Primo Arpia has graciously agreed to take this on. He's stepping away from his role as president-elect, not becoming the president of IIDA this year, and instead, Primo will take on the role of being our global chair of student experience. So thank you for that, Primo. And Primo's going to talk to you a little bit about that role, about our strategic efforts as an association, and leadership in that role. Thank you, Primo.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Cheryl. I'm thrilled and honored to be here today. When I was approached about stepping into the role of global experience, the global experience at the IIDA position that will help, I'm sorry, step back. When I was approached about stepping into the role of global chair of the student experience at IIDA, a position that will help shape the association's vision for the engaging of the future of our industry, I knew my design background, my experience working with students, and my comfort with the uncharted territory would help us navigate the enormous opportunity we have to better serve our IIDA student members. Uncharted territory is a kind of specialty of ours, in fact, I'm sorry, let's back up one more time. For the uncharted territory is kind of my specialty. In fact, for those of you who don't know my firm, Studio Plus A, it has been around for 25 years. We've served many tech industry clients in the Silicon Valley, Uber, Facebook, Yelp, to name a few, and some big corporate giants, Nike, McDonald's. And what I've found, particularly in the last decade, is that tech and other companies that have been on the cutting edge of our industry have pushed design, including workplace design, and that the marriage of brand, experience, and design to the forefront. This has paved the way for the contemporary workplace that we create and continue to hone today. Highly functional office space that recognizes the needs of multiple kinds of work, both collaborative, private, as well as the impact of our daily work lives and our well-being. Studio Plus A has had an opportunity to be at the front lines of this workplace design revolution. So many of us in the audience, from manufacturers, design firms, large and small, have been privy to this part in this shift. I speak to student groups regularly about the phenomenon, and I think many of you will agree. There has never been a better time in the history to enter the profession of design. No longer a subset of architecture, commercial interior design, and its impact on the human experience have been pushed to the forefront, which makes it critical that we effectively prepare students for career in this industry that is changing at a rapid pace. But we must go beyond preparation. We must ready these students to be catalysts for change. IIDA student programs have been robust, successful, and it's time to build on that success. Like student mentoring programs, student design competitions, and student charrette is now. And as a premier association representing the commercial interior design industry, the onus is on us to round out the student designer classroom experience with applied practical learning, honing their skills as strategists, innovators, disruptors, and marrying the design acumen with both the hard and soft sciences. Our association's commitment to students will not stop with the Global Chair of Students Experience position. IIDA, and the IIDA Foundation will provide investment necessary to build robust student membership experiences. That includes scholarship, travel opportunities, internships, programming content, and more. I'm proud to be a part of this initiative, and I look forward to updating you on our progress over the coming year. Thank you all for your time today, and enjoy NeoCon, and pardon my mistakes, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much, Primo. Nobody noticed a thing. You are fine. Don't say the word teleprompter. Nobody out there knows we have a teleprompter. We're super excited about this initiative and grateful for you for taking it on, and we look forward to all the wonderful things that will come to students and come back to the organization as a result. Each year, we have the honor and privilege of publicly acknowledging various members and friends of IIDA, as well as luminaries in the field of design for their achievement. This year's honorees are a premier group whose accolades are well-deserved. Recipients, when your name is announced, please come to the podium to accept your award. Audience, clap wildly and cheer when you, just keep it lively. Remember, live stream. We want to make the people who are watching via live stream just feel the need to be here next year. All right. Our first award of the afternoon is the IIDA Star Award. The IIDA Star Award recognizes and celebrates contributions that have significantly impacted the interior design industry by either an individual or an organization. Renowned architect and founder of IA Interior Architects, David Morton, has shaped the practice of commercial interior design and is among the industry pioneers credited with creating a blueprint for the modern interior design firm. An architect and interior designer for more than 30 years, David founded IA in 1984. Under his direction, IA has become the world's largest employee-owned architecture firm dedicated exclusively to workplace design. David's expertise in management, marketing, and design has solidified IA's position as a global leader in visionary workplace design and propelled IA's rapid growth to include 20 offices on 3 continents, in addition to alliances with firms around the world. David is an IIDA Fellow. He is a member of Cornet Global and the American Institute of Architects, and he has served as a commissioner on the California State Board of Architectural Examiners. In 2015, David was honored by Contract Magazine with its 13th Annual Legend Award. We are so pleased to honor and celebrate my friend David Morton as this year's IIDA Star Award recipient. David?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Have your paper?
I got it. Yeah, my speech. Thanks, guys. I made the mistake of getting my knee replaced. I thought I'd work it into coming to Chicago. That's the bad news. The good news is that Cheryl did the surgery.
Very handy.
Anyway, the message here is that, Cheryl, I'm not a star. The stars in what we do are the gifted professionals, the gifted designers in our profession. And there are many, many in this room today. I'm not a star, but I've wished on more than a few to make things happen and make my dreams come true. And if your heart is in your dream, no request is too extreme. Like a bolt out of the blue, fate steps in and sees you through. When you wish upon a star, your dreams come true. And mine certainly did. I want to tell you a quick story about a time and a place and a wish and a dream that I had 33 some years ago. The time was 1984, and it was a great time to start a design firm. In 1984, the Dow Jones average was at 1,200. Can you imagine that? And would begin 15 years of uninterrupted growth. Apple introduced the Macintosh computer, and Ronald Reagan was elected to his second term, and he was pumping billions into the Southern California economy, the place. As a result, Los Angeles was booming. And that year, LA would host the Olympics, and the place just sparkled. LA was a great place to start a design firm, an interior design firm, an interior architecture firm. The firm would be named for what we do, interior architecture, and who we are, interior architects. IA Interior Architects. At the time, most, if not all, interiors practices, at least those that were national, which is what I wanted to build, were a subset, a division of an architectural firm, or God help us, an engineering firm. Okay? You've all been there. The firm I've been with for 8 years prior, EPR, was a counterpart to Gensler, and they did brilliant interiors. It was 90% of their work, and it was certainly all of their profits. The other 10% was base building architecture. You've all been there, right? I mean, it's amazing. But it was the architects who did that work who dominated the firm and ran the practice. This was typical in the interiors profession back then, maybe even now, right? The base building guys, and they were guys, they ruled the roost. And in 1984, I felt it was time to take the practice of interiors out of the back room and let it shine on its own. That was the dream, and guess what? It came true. The vision was that even though IA was licensed and incorporated as an architectural firm, we would not practice base building architecture. We would be architects from the inside out. We would be interior architects. The dream was to build a national architectural firm that only does interior design. I thought that would be a brand differentiator, something to set us apart with the name Interior Architects, Inc. as an easily remembered brand. What I found, however, was that there was something which was much more powerful that happened. And the real strength in the concept of just practicing interior design and not doing base building work was what it meant for the people that wanted to join the firm. And I soon realized that there were a great number of professionals that found the concept of only practicing interiors as a standalone discipline to be liberating. They were tired of being second-class citizens. They loved the practice of interior design, and they wanted to build a firm that was unique and focused exclusively on what they loved to do, and build it they did. As Cheryl said, today, IA has 20 offices and over 500 professionals. Interior design is an exciting, highly creative, and fun profession. It does not need to be and shouldn't be a subset, a division, or a subservient part of an architectural firm. In any organization, it's always all about the people. And when all of the people in the firm have the same focus, it's an incredibly powerful thing. And when those same people have been given the liberty to practice and manage what they love, there creates a work environment full of enthusiasm and palpable energy. You can feel it. There's also another liberating thing that's happening at IA, and that's the role of women in our firm. Most architectural firms are run by men, so women take a back seat. At IA, that's not the case. 90% of all our new offices and the majority of all our offices are run by women. Yeah. As it should be. These women are dynamic and driven. They're driven to not only succeed and prosper within the firm, but also to give back to our profession and to our communities. A great example of that is your outgoing president and new fellow, Marlene Litteriano. Let's hear it from Marlene. Congratulations, Marlene. We're all very, very proud of what you've done and extremely thankful for what you've done for the IIDA. Thank you so much. Another example of an extraordinary woman is your CEO, Cheryl Durst. Cheryl, you're an incredible leader, and we're so fortunate to have you leading the show. You're our star, Cheryl, not me. But thank you very much. Thank you for this wonderful honor. Thank you.
Glad to good to see you. All right, you have to hold the cane?
I didn't want to.
Hold the cane.
Okay,
All right.
okay, got
Is the
it.
cane okay?
Got it.
You okay?
Hang on, you
All
got
right.
one?
You see that tape on the floor?
I do.
Okay, come on.
Okay.
We have to do this for the photographers.
Doctor.
Yeah, right? All right, okay. Hold it.
Dr.
Got my fingerprints all over it. Okay.
Wow, this is great. What's that?
What? This way?
See that?
All right? Okay, all right. Pardon us for a moment.
No. Thanks, guys. Okay.
I will
Can I
take
get
this.
that later?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
Hold this for you.
Thank you again.
You're good.
All right. Thank you.
This way.
All right, guys, exit right.
I think you're up.
Thank you and congratulations, David. Our next award, the IIDA Titan Award, recognizes outstanding service and contributions to the interior design profession by a design-related individual, company, or organization. This year's award is proudly presented to Mac Stopa. Max Stopa's work spans architecture, interior design, industrial design, art, and fashion. And his multidisciplinary sensibility both inspires the industry and deeply influences how spaces are experienced. Mac is the founder of Massive Design, an award-winning firm specializing in corporate interiors, public space design, architecture, and industrial design. He counts giants such as Google, Samsung, BMW, MasterCard, Credit Suisse, Viacom, Bacardi Martini, Mohawk Group, Capellini, Laminem, Tanan, DuPont, and Milliken among his clients. Mac's fascination with parametrically driven design, organic geometry, sculptural shapes, and digital art inspires him to create innovative and adaptable modular objects. From furniture to apparel, electric guitars to building elevations, Mac often uses energizing bold colors and 3D graphics to design progressive objects that evoke positive emotions. Since 2013, Mac's work has received 66 international design awards, including multiple Red Dot Design Awards, among them Red Dot Best of the Best 2016, Good Design Awards, Interior Design Best of Year Awards, Interior Design HIP Awards, Iconic Awards, Interior Innovation, including a Best of Best Award 2017 and an IF Award 2017, to name just a few. Mac, we are so pleased to honor you as the recipient of this year's IIDA Titan Award. Please join me in congratulating Mac Stopa, our 2017 IIDA Titan Award winner.
Congratulations, Mac. We'll hold on to these. Yes. Okay, it's all yours.
Thank you, Marlene. It's a great honor for me to be here today. I would like to thank Cheryl Durst and the IDA International Board of Directors for recognizing my work and for giving me this prestigious award. A special thanks to our clients, several of whom are here today, for allowing me to create outside-the-box solutions. Also, a big shout-out to my colleagues, Dana Grisvin and Pavel Bandalet, and the entire Massive Design team, who have worked tirelessly over the years, completing many successful projects and building our brand. My design approach is based on researching manufacturing technologies and using multiple forms of expression. I combine architecture, interior design, industrial design into one discipline, sharing experiences among them. Just to give example, experience gained on furniture projects, specifically knowledge of injection molding and thermoforming, helped me to create Warsaw Spy interiors in which hundreds of prefabricated elements were manufactured using similar technologies. Now, I would like to share with you a short presentation of my design works. For the soundtrack, which you are about to hear, I composed the music and played the instruments, including electric guitar, which is my second passion after design.
Hashtag, you know you want to dress like Mac. and have your own music video and play the electric guitar. The IIDA President's Council is composed of industry leaders who are dedicated to advancing and supporting the mission, programming, and activities of IIDA. This year, we are pleased to announce the addition of 2 new members of our IIDA President's Council.
Our first President's Council inductee is Amy Storick. As Vice President of A&D Sales for North America, Amy leads Herman Miller's team of A&D representatives across the U.S. and Canada. She is responsible for the A&D vision and strategy, nurturing relationships, and developing tools to support architects and designers in their work. Amy is a graduate of the UC Berkeley with a background in architecture and interior design. She has more than 18 years of experience in the contract furniture industry. Amy, will you please join us on stage?
I'm going old school. That's a tough act to follow. Thank you, Marlene. Thank you, Cheryl. And to the board, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you, representing Herman Miller. You know, I have been in this industry for a long time, and this is actually I think my 20th NeoCon. But since the early days of my career, IIDA has given me so much, both personally and professionally. Starting out, the association helped me network and establish incredible relationships and grow through education and programs. And over the years, my involvement grew to support the local chapter with committee work and volunteering. And I cherish the extraordinary people that I met along the way, some of whom contributed to my decision to join Herman Miller 5 years ago. IIDA is an enterprise of unique contribution and value, and it has been an enormous pleasure to give back and help the organization and our design community prosper. Today, I have the privilege to work with an amazing and talented team, and I see the collective effort we make to give back, most recently on the IIDA headquarters, working closely with the IIDA team and Gensler, and our student design competition, and I'm so proud. As Herman Miller's founder, DJ Dupree, said, "People are extraordinary. Everyone possesses extraordinary qualities that provide the answer to doing things you cannot do yourself." And the work that we do with IIDA demonstrates that every day. Our partnership with the IIDA, architects and designers, and other industry professionals brings out the extraordinary in all of us. Thank you.
Our second President's Council inductee, Byron Morton, is the Vice President of Leasing for the NeoCon and Casual Market showrooms at the Mart. In his role, he is responsible for approximately 1 million square feet of showroom space and works closely with the contract and casual furnishings industries. Prior to joining the Mart, Morton worked at SBC, the Southern Company, and Motorola. He has a diverse professional background, which includes sales, product development, product management, marketing, communications, and trade show management and sales training. Byron, will you please join us on stage?
With your badge on.
I do have my badge on. Look at that. Thank you, Marlene. Thanks to Cheryl, Dennis, and the IIDA board for this recognition. The entire NeoCon team is grateful and honored to contribute to IIDA. I met IIDA 13 years ago. You were 10.
Yes, I was.
I was younger.
You were younger than me.
Or maybe not. Anyway, when your headquarters was tucked away on a gift floor in the Mart. And as expected, it was a beautiful space once you got inside. But getting there was another story. My first formal meeting with Cheryl was to address the various yard figurines, or let me say yard jockeys, that one had to pass to get to your office. And let's just say that our meeting was quite colorful. I owe much of my early knowledge of the industry on a very serious note, though, and success at the Mart to Dennis Krause. Early in my Mart career, Dennis graciously and regularly shared his perspective on the contract industry and the ins and outs of how things really get done. He would answer my calls, often with stupid questions, happily give me the answers I needed to navigate an industry that was completely new to me, and was challenge my perspective when it needed to be challenged, and that was quite often. As always, Dennis went above and beyond to ensure the success of IIDA's industry partnerships, and for that, I'm eternally grateful, and I think we all should be. I've known IIDA as a valued partner, a confidant, and as their landlord for my entire tenure at the Mart. And like a true millennial, they've waited 2 years until after their 21st birthday to move out. While we at the Mart and Neocon will miss being your landlord, we'll always value IIDA as a partner and look forward to a very long mutually beneficial relationship. Here's to a great Neocon 2017, and we look forward to celebrating Neocon's 50th anniversary with you in 2018. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, Byron. And I'll myth bust right now on behalf of our friends at the Mart and IIDA. You guys know we've moved to new headquarters, 111 East Wacker Drive. Please come visit us. The Mart doesn't hate IIDA, nor does IIDA hate the Mart. It was a real estate decision, people. Everything's good. The fact that Byron and Myron are here, there is continuous unparalleled support by the Merchandise Mart to IIDA. We have a pop-up experience in the lobby of the building, and we love seeing those IIDA banners in the front of the Mart during Neocon. So thank you, as always, to Byron and to the entire Merchandise Mart for your continued support of IIDA. Both Amy and Byron offer unique perspectives, business savvy, and a commitment to elevating the interior design profession. And collectively, Amy and Herman Miller, Byron and the Merchandise Mart, congratulations to you both, and thank you so much. We know that your insights will be invaluable to the continued growth and success of IIDA. Now, today, we also have the pleasure of bestowing an award that recognizes the tireless effort and enduring commitment of a distinguished interior design educator. The Educator of the Year Award, sponsored by Milliken, celebrates excellence in leadership by an interior design educator. I'm so pleased to announce this year's honoree, John Otis. John is a professor of interior design at Pratt Institute in New York City. John, will you join us on stage? So I'm going to talk about you for just a little bit. John has been a professor of interior design at Pratt since 1998 and is the principal and creative director of the Object Agency. He has been active in the interior design industry for 4 decades. His many awards and accolades include a Fulbright Fellowship and a Lusk Memorial Fellowship, and in 2009, he was named the most admired educator by Design Intelligence. In 1991, John formed the Moderns Design Studio as a partner in charge of interior architecture and product design. He left to form Object Inc. in 1999, which was rebranded Object Agency in 2009 to reflect the firm's range of strategic, creative, and communication services. Through John's empathy, understanding, and ability to connect with students, he has guided countless young designers through Pratt and on to successful careers in the industry. the depth of his practical experience in design, as well as his mission to positively impact his students in the industry and the industry, illustrates his deep commitment to interior design education. We are exceptionally proud to recognize John Otis as our 2017 Educator of the Year. Where are you? You stay there. So, a little extra on this award. Well, a lot of extra, actually. This award comes with a very special prize, and I'd like to introduce Mark Strohmeyer, Vice President of Marketing at Milliken, to do the honors. Mark?
Thank you, Cheryl and Marlene. On behalf of Milliken, we are so proud to again sponsor the Educator of the Year Award. As a corporation, our approach to innovation is driven by the purpose of doing good for the world, creating new experiences, and building for the future. We feel strongly that as educators and leaders in our industry, Professor Otis and each of the Educator of the Year nominees embodies those principles. At Milliken, before we can do good, create new experiences, and build for the future, we first seek to understand current challenges and needs. So we hosted the IIDA Educators Roundtable, where a cross-section of industry notables exchanged ideas and outlined issues that complicate design education at all levels. Professor Otis was one of these industry notables at the roundtable, and his contributions helped build the future of design profession. Professor Otis, Milliken is honored to present to you this cash award for $10,000 in recognition of your extraordinary efforts with students and the profession of design. On behalf of all of us at Milliken, congratulations and best wishes.
Well, thank you to Milliken very much, and thank you all, and a big thank you to the IIDA organization and people, Dennis, and Cheryl, who is clearly an inspiration to us all. Sincere thanks to my friends and colleagues here today, Ralph Grogan, Christy Hill, Edward Whittle. Matt Goodrich was supposed to be here, but he couldn't be. But both Matt and Edward were two of my most excellent students and have become two of my dearest friends. My wife, Diane, thank you for your love and support and encouragement and gentle nudge to actually get me to apply for this award. Something that I've learned, and it took a number of years to do so, is that teaching is in some not so small part about accepting humility. One must let go of the ego if you really want to reach your students. And critical to reaching them is to connecting, is to allow for communication. At 40 years of age, something changed while I was still very engaged in practice and continuing to evolve my creative expression as a designer. I became hungry, and actually I'd say I became ravenous. My desire to learn and for knowledge suddenly expanded exponentially, and my focus on education and on being an educator materialized more profoundly. But it was clear that at life's midpoint, karma willing, I discovered a new passion for learning. And coincidentally, it was soon after that when I became a full-time instructor at Pratt. So I relate this to share with you today that I still feel it, the hunger, the desire, and the passion for learning. And since that's true, then I can also state that so is my desire to share the knowledge, to inform, and to educate students for many years to come. We all know that it's important to avoid being static, as educators, as designers, as people. We know that change is coming, and we must embrace it, or we'll be left behind. And as I state this to you today, it's in part to remind myself as well, we are all somewhat adverse to change. Each generation of students has different priorities. And within that notion, we encounter considerable diversity to be mindful of. Different strokes, cultures, and colors, and abilities, and aesthetics. To that point, I intend to dedicate time and part of my award to create a diversity in design education initiative. It has been apparent to me for many years that design is not a visible career path for many people of color, and we need to find a way to create a new dynamic. Clearly, it begins with education. Hopefully, some of you will also join me in this effort. We understand that the world is more complex than ever, and as educators, we must be willing and able to learn and to grow along with those whom we will be educating. It's not so much about technology, rather it's about evolving how we relate to students and how we adapt our methods of communication so that they will connect and learn. Finally, I want to dedicate this award to the educator who influenced me the most to be a designer, the late Arnold Friedman. Arnold was not only instrumental in founding the program at Pratt, where I presently teach, but also IDEC. Arnold was a tireless and dedicated teacher, and he was also my friend, and his recent passing is still with me. So I dedicate this to Arnold and to another handful of teachers who have had more influence on my life than anyone, and to my father, who was also a teacher, and my late mother, who always thought that I should teach. With both heart and soul, I thank you. I am humbled. Peace and love. Okay.
Thank you, John. That was fantastic. Congratulations. Thank you, Mark and Milliken, and a heartfelt congratulations to John Otis. Next, we are honored to present the IIDA Student of the Year Award, sponsored by OFS Brands. This award recognizes a student member whose insight, involvement, and leadership have significantly impacted their school's interior design program. I'm pleased to present to you our Student of the Year, Lindsay Duvall. Lindsay, would you join us on stage? Lindsay is a senior and a teaching assistant in the interior design program at Texas State University, where she also serves as the president of the university's campus center. Lindsay, I'm going to ask you in a minute why your parents put a Z in your name, but just hold tight. She previously held positions of campus center membership chair and public relations chair. Lindsay recently completed internships with the firms Locke Group and How DeG Architects, both in Austin, Texas. Prior to college, Lindsay was a competitive dancer, which sparked her interest in art and design and ultimately led her to pursue a profession where her creativity could flourish. She plans to move to Chicago following graduation, where she will begin her career in the interior design industry. We know that Lindsay's passion, drive, and enthusiasm for the industry, as well as her understanding of the power of design to connect people and make a positive and lasting impact on society, will propel her to great things as she begins her career. We are so pleased to present Lindsay Duvall with the Student of the Year Award. And like the Educator of the Year Award, this award also has a respected patron. Doug Shapiro, Vice President of Marketing for OFS Brands. If you'd come join me, Doug, if you'll present Lindsay with her award.
Thank you, Cheryl. OFS is honored to sponsor the IIDA Student of the Year Award. As a company, we're both invested in the excellence of design and the future of design, and Lindsay is emblematic of both. Lindsay, your academic success should be celebrated. So with that, OFS Brands is pleased to present you with this $5 check. I'm kidding, it's $5,000. Lindsay, congratulations.
Where's your envelope? I think John took it. No, he didn't take it. I think those educators taking the wrong checks. There you go. And that's officially yours.
Thank you. Today I want to share with you a little bit about my experiences, a few things I've learned along the way, and how I found myself in design. When I was younger, I always had big goals and pushed myself to dream big, but I never knew that I would end up in the field of design. I was creative in different ways, and I was never the kid who could paint a masterpiece or sculpt. I was actually a competitive dancer from the age of 2 until high school, and I always thought I'd become a ballerina. clearly that didn't happen. Oddly enough, interior design somewhat found me. I quickly changed my major halfway through my first semester of college with the urge to take a risk. For about 3 months, I was an education major. I decided that would be a good fit for me because of my love for working with and learning from others. Okay, and maybe a few Facebook personality tests too. After being knee-deep in interior design courses, my passion began to develop. I had no idea that I would find a hidden talent and a true love for design and its powerful effects it has on our society. And now looking back, dance and a love of working with others has made my take on design so much more enriching and unique. But not everything in my life has been as effortless as ballet. Like many, I struggled along the way and at times had others in my life who were negative and uninspiring. Their remarks would sometimes lead me to question myself, what I was doing, and where I saw my future. I remember hearing remarks such as, "What? You'll never achieve that," and "You can't do that because you're too shy and quiet, or because you're not good enough." Well, I'm standing here today with goals and dreams achieved and a heart full of joy. From those experiences, I learned how important it is to cherish those around you who love and support you, and to turn negative people and their remarks into something positive. For myself, the negative remarks turned into drive to pursue my dreams, and I've only just begun. Even through the rough times, I became a stronger person, and sometimes this was when I learned the most. Someone special in my life has always told me, life is about the journey and what you do and learn along the way, not the destination. Thanks, Dad. Design is life-changing. It aims to better lives and influences the future through innovative solutions. Design has changed and enriched my personal life in so many ways, and I can't wait to bring that same passion and drives onto others' lives as a young designer. I want to thank all that have been part of my journey, my family, friends, Texas State University's Interior Design program, and the wonderful faculty. And a special thank you to OFS Brands for sponsoring this award, and to IIDA for providing me with endless opportunities and experiences that have shaped me as a young designer, but most importantly, as a person. Thank you.
That was fantastic. You did a great job. So we have to stand up here. Do you have a check?
I do.
All right. So John Otis, Educator of the Year, you left your check up here. Lindsay, Student of the Year, she's walking away with your check. Get that check.
Got it.
Yeah. Congratulations, Lindsay. And I leaned over to her and said, "So tell me about that Z." And she said that her parents just wanted to have a name that had just a little bit of extra sass. So there you go. And now it is an honor to recognize an individual who characterizes commitment to professionalism and the practice of design, and who has visibly demonstrated through service to IIDA a passionate dedication to the association, to her chapter, and to the mission of advancing the profession. It is my absolute pleasure to present Alyssa Weimuller with a 2017 Member of the Year Award sponsored by Contract Magazine. Alyssa? Alyssa is a principal of interiors at Helix Architecture and Design and an active member of the Kansas City design community. As a leader of the IIDA Mid-America chapter, she has served in various roles, including president in 2013-2014, and she has been instrumental in helping the chapter win 2 IIDA Chapter of the Year awards in the last 3 years. Alyssa's dedication to the interior design industry and IIDA has reached far beyond her chapter. From 2013 to 2015, she co-chaired the Kansas City Design Week on behalf of IIDA, transforming the event into the region's most anticipated week for sharing design ideas and inspiration. She also collaborated on the creation of the Kansas City Center for Architecture and Design, which brings together graphic designers, landscape architects, landscape designers, and interior designers into one collective group. Her countless volunteer hours and tireless effort have ensured the creation of a Kansas City design community that is active, vibrant, and engaging. We are so proud to honor her hard work and passion by naming her the 2017 IIDA Member of the Year. I'd like to invite Karen Donahue, publisher of Contract Magazine and the sponsor of the Member of the Year Award, to join me at the podium. Karen?
I got the check, girl. Don't worry. We're good. Good afternoon. Contract Magazine is dedicated to elevating the relevance and value of commercial design, and we are proud to support the IIDA Member of the Year Award. Recognizing and investing in driven, passion, and talented professionals like Alyssa is what propels our industry forward. On behalf of Contract Magazine, I'd like to present you with a check for $7,500 and our sincerest congratulations.
Thank you so much. Recently, a first-year interior design student actually had to call me and interview me for a class project. And a few questions in, she asked, I saw the letters IIDA after your name. Could you tell me more about that? And I said, settle in, girlfriend, because it's going to be a long answer. But I often tell students that my involvement and my participation in IIDA over the last 12 years is one of the most important and impactful things I've done in my career. The skills I've learned, the resources that I've found, and certainly the relationships I've made both in my community and throughout the national organization are invaluable and so dear to me and have really shaped me as a designer. I have to admit that when I joined IIDA, I had one motivation, and that was to meet friends. I was new to Kansas City and looking for a crew. And I will say over the years, my motivation to stay involved has changed, both from finding out how to be a better chapter for our designers to wanting to be an advocate for my city and my chapter on a larger level, and then to one of wanting to unite and make our design community whole in Kansas City. I'm really proud to be a designer in Kansas City, proud to be a designer at Helix. There are really exceptional things taking place in our city, and I'm so excited to be there right now. You cannot be Member of the Year without thanking the entire chapter of incredible designers and industry members we have, that the momentum that we have is truly due to their efforts and energy, and I'm so grateful to be a part of that chapter. One of the things I'm most proud of, as Cheryl alluded to, our collaboration with architects and designers of multiple disciplines to do Kansas City Design Week and the Center for Architecture and Design has really been a rewarding experience and something I'm so excited about. I know there are communities with sometimes animosity or tension between some of these roles, and I'm really grateful for the way we're able to work together so closely. As an industry, we have enough challenges and competition that we will only be stronger all working together. I don't also just say that because I married a very sweet architect who has been so incredibly patient and supportive of IIDA over many years. Thank you to Contract Magazine and to Karen. I appreciate you being a resource for our industry constantly, and I'm certainly appreciative of this gift. I promise I will use it in a way that makes you proud, whether that is art or a beautifully designed object for my home, but please know I will use it well. Yeah, thank you. Thank you to IIDA, certainly. I am so grateful for, over the years, everything I have learned from all of the staff at headquarters. You work so hard, and certainly thank you to the one and only Cheryl Durst. I know I speak on behalf of many people in this room when I say you are an incredible role model. And your energy is something that we are so lucky to have, and so grateful. I'm so grateful. Stop. I know, I didn't mean to do that. So, in closing, I said that my first motivation in getting involved with IIDA was to meet friends. And someday at the end of my career and at the end of my days, I will be most grateful for the friendships and relationships that I have found here. They are people that I carry close to my heart every day. Thank you to Erica for nominating me for this award and for being my constant mentor and friend. I wish for all of you the same amazing special relationships within this organization. I wish for all of you joy and fulfillment in being designers every day, and I'm so grateful that we have this organization to be a part of. So thank you very much.
Sweet.
Congratulations again to all of this year's award winners. Now, I would like to call to the podium the chair of the College of Fellows, Jim Williamson.
Thank you, Marlene. The good news is for the inductees is that they're not going to have to give speeches. The bad news is there's no checks for them. So, sorry about that. Good afternoon. Election to the IIDA College of Fellows is conducted annually to provide a means of honoring the outstanding contributions to and accomplishments within the interior design profession, the community, and the association by an IIDA professional member. IIDA Fellowship is the most prestigious honor that can be bestowed upon an individual design professional. Today, I have the honor of introducing you the 4 newest members of the College of Fellows, and they're all women. Will Marie Cunningham, Marlene Liriano, Janet Pogue McLaurin, and Julia Semmett please join me on stage? Although you recognize them all as they come on stage and have some familiarity with their accomplishments, we'd like to give you their formal backgrounds. And you don't have to give a speech. No check. There's no check, sorry. Marie Cunningham is an interior design principal and member of the design practice leadership team and the design board at NBBJ. A recognized leader, yes, you can clap. A recognized leader in the industry for more than 30 years, Anne-Marie has created invigorating and enriching interiors for clients at the forefront of their industries with some amazing names, including Amazon, Samsung, Boeing, Vulcan, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. A sought-after speaker, thought leader, and design competition juror, Anne-Marie has served as a panelist for the Seattle Architecture Foundation's lecture series on developing community through design and participated as a juror for the IIDA Interior Design Competition. Her work has been featured by the BBC, Interior Design, the New York Times, Wired, Architectural Record, the New Yorker, Fortune, and Metropolis. She's been published a few times. She also serves on the editorial advisory board of Contract Magazine. May I present Anne-Marie Cunningham, FIIDA.
I don't want to bomb her photo.
Second, Ms. Liriano, outgoing president. Marlene Liriano is the managing director of the Miami office of IA Interior Architects. For more than 32 years, Marlene has successfully delivered innovative and thoughtful design solutions that exceed her clients' expectations. Someone's calling to congratulate you. Marlene's approach is built on advancing the business goals of her clients, supporting the organization's culture, and maximizing their productivity. Her work has perpetuated, I knew there would be a hard word in here, a tradition of insight, cultivated a spirit of team collaboration, and promoted thought leadership with rare expertise, resulting in multiple design awards, publications, and numerous long-term client accounts. In addition to being our outgoing board president, Marlene has been honored by the Miami chapter of the American Institute of Architects with the Interior Designer of the Year Award for her excellence in leadership and notable architecture and interior design. May I present Marlene Liriano, FIIDA.
Like a surprise.
Okay. Ms. McLaurin. Janet Pogue McLaurin is one of Gensler's key researchers and thought leaders on how the physical workplace impacts work, and a mentor of mine for many years. Janet currently co-leads Gensler's global work sector, comprised of 15 practice areas, representing approximately $300 million of annual revenue and 23 funded research grants in 2015-2016 alone. She's busy. She serves on Gensler's management committee and is focused on growing client relationships, building marketplace reputation, and delivering innovative design for all 31 firm-wide practice areas. As a project principal and hands-on workplace strategist in Washington, D.C., Janet takes an active role on key projects across the firm and is responsible for strategic planning, mobility studies, change management, and innovative workplace environments for a variety of clients in both government and private sector industries. I am very pleased to present Janet Pogue McLaurin, FIIDA. I learn eventually. And last but not least, Julia. She's on the spot. Julia's like, I'm not going to have to give a speech, am I? No. Julia Simmet is a principal and managing director at Gensler. She's based in New York, and she provides immense leadership to the office's 17 studio directors and drives the strategic vision and planning for the New York office. She is currently a member of Gensler's management committee and board of directors. With over 30 years of experience, Julia is recognized as a premier and expert in the planning and design of workplaces for the professional services industry, law firms, and accounting and consulting firms, and is a trusted advisor to many respected global law firms. Julia has also led large, complex workplace projects for the financial services, media, and consumer products industries. Her experience in these sectors include headquarter relocations and renovations in place for the Boston Consulting Group, Nomura, the Carlyle Group, Hearst, Michael Kors, and more. May I present Julia Simmet, FIIDA. IIDA is honored to welcome these 4 outstanding women and extraordinary design leaders into the College of Fellows. They each bring a unique design perspective as well as a wide range of experience. My sincere congratulations to each of you, and you may now return to your seats. Please congratulate our newest fellows.
Thank you so much, Jim, and congratulations to these #wonderful, talented women. Thank you. I hope everyone will be able to stay and toast Anne Marie, Marlene, Janet, and Julia, and all of our IIDA fellows and honorees at the VIP reception sponsored by Vitra immediately following the annual meeting. Now I would like to introduce the chair of the IIDA Foundation, Carmen Wooten Preston, Facebook friend to all.
Good afternoon, everyone.
The IIDA Foundation is a not-for-profit 501c3 philanthropic organization whose primary mission is to advance interior design through education, research, and knowledge, and to benefit IIDA and the interior design profession. The foundation and its board of trustees work in collaboration with the International Board to support the strategic plan of the association. I want to thank the foundation's board of trustees for their ongoing dedication and efforts during this past year, and send my appreciation to David Friedland, whose term has ended. Continuing for the 2017-2018 term are Edwin Beltran and Scott Herlinger, representing the association on the board of trustees, along with Keisha Erdman from the Texas-Oklahoma chapter, Adam Stover from the Indiana chapter, and myself from the Alabama chapter. I am also pleased to announce that Ronnie Belizaire from the Georgia chapter will serve as chair of the foundation for the next year. The foundation had an active year promoting our existing programs. We are pleased to announce funding for signature initiatives that connect the practice of design. The IIDA Foundation, in partnership with Interior Design Educators Council Foundation, that's a lot of foundations, announced the inaugural IIDA Foundation Diversity Award. This award recognizes and celebrates an educator who is a representative of a diverse background and is making a significant contribution to interior design education today. The 2016 IIDA Foundation Diversity of the Year Award recipient goes to King Jong-hoon, professor and interior architecture program coordinator at California State University, Chico. King John was recognized at the IDEC annual conference this past March and received a $5,000 cash award on behalf of the IIDA Foundation. I invite you to visit the IIDA website to preview the press release and for more information on applying for the 2017 IIDA Foundation Diversity Award. Anna Hernandez founded Luna Textiles in 1994 and served as president and CEO. She was a visionary, establishing Luna's place as a leader in the textiles field early on by winning multiple prestigious industry awards for the company year after year. Throughout her career, Anna gave back to the industry, serving as Vice President of Industry Relations for the 2007-2008 IIDA International Board of Directors, and was past President of the Association for Contract Textiles, and an advisor to the Interior Design Program at California College of the Arts. Upon her passing in November 2016, her husband, Michael Vanderbilt, established the Anna Hernandez Luna Textiles Education Fund to honor her memory and passion and dedication to the profession. The fund will seek to celebrate women-owned product and interior design firms and their contributions to the interior design profession. Complete details on the application process will be available on the IIDA website in the fall. Please join me in remembering and celebrating Anna's tremendous influence on our industry. (2016) was the Foundation's 14th annual Designing for the Future campaign, and once again, the IIDA chapters and members demonstrated their generous support. Contributions to the 2016 campaign totaled over $20,000. The funds raised provided funding for the NCIDQ Tuition Reimbursement Fund. The trustees also added a new opportunity to provide programming for IIDA members. Each chapter that met its 2016 goal would be able to request 50% of their goal to fund a chapter educational program that directly benefits the members of the chapters. 9 chapters met or exceeded their goal this year, and the trustees would like to acknowledge and thank the following chapters: A very popular program with IIDA members is the NCIDQ Tuition Reimbursement Fund, which provides associate members with an opportunity for reimbursement upon passing the NCIDQ exam. In total, 140 IIDA members from 27 chapters have been recipients of this fund. Additionally, the Sustainable Design Education Fund serves to advance the awareness and knowledge of sustainable design. 44 IIDA members from 20 chapters have received reimbursement upon passing the LEED accreditation exam. I am also very excited to announce that Shaw Contract has partnered with the IIDA Foundation to collaborate on the Sustainable Design Education Fund. We are looking forward to working with the foundation to include other opportunities for promoting the knowledge of sustainability. The foundation is grateful to industry member Wilson Art for its support in advancing the professional development of our student members. The Wilson Art Essay Competition invites student members who participate in the Student Mentoring Program to submit an essay describing their day-long experience of being mentored in an interior design firm. The winner of the 2017 Wilson Art Competition and recipient of a $1,000 cash reward, along with a trip to NeoCon, is Suzanne Sabia, student IIDA of the University of Alabama and IIDA Alabama chapter. Suzanne is here with us today. If we could please give her a round of applause. With the ongoing support and generosity of the IIDA members and the IIDA Foundation, we'll continue to provide tangible and original benefits to members. The trustees are grateful to everyone for their participation, and we encourage you to visit the Foundation's website for complete details and information. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Carmen. Now we'd like to acknowledge the outstanding work being done by IIDA chapters. Immediately preceding this annual meeting, we held a special event recognizing our chapters, honoring the winners of this year's chapter awards, and learning a little bit about why they won those awards. We have one award left to announce. This is the big one, Chapter of the Year. I'm very pleased to announce that this year's Chapter of the Year, I always have to look behind me because sometimes it pops up before I say the words. I'm pleased to announce that this year's Chapter of the Year is the Texas-Oklahoma chapter. Joanna, Amanda, I know you're here because you're skipping training to be here. Yeah, well, but you're Chapter of the Year. Come on. Congratulations, Texas, Oklahoma. So I'm supposed to say, Marlene, will you join me at the podium for some very important international board business?
I'm here.
But you're here.
I would now like to thank the 2016-2017 board. Thank you for your extraordinary service to the board and to the association. I would like to administer the oath of office to all vice presidents for the 2017-2018 Board of Directors. Will you please rise as I call your name? Edwin Beltran. Julio Braga. Gabrielle Bullock. Annie Chu. Susana Covarrubias. Jeff Fenwick, Scott Herlinger, Doug Shapiro. As newly elected vice presidents and the officers of the International Interior Design Association, it shall be your responsibility to lead the association. The well-being and progress of IIDA will be affected by your actions. May the association's purpose, high professional standards, and dedication to excellence be the controlling force during your term of office. IIDA is dedicated to exploring new directions in design, expanding the influence of the designer, and supplementing the formal education of its members. Thus, it will be your responsibility to further these goals. Furthermore, you will be required to become familiar with all association bylaws and policies and to serve faithfully in office until your successors have been duly elected. As vice presidents, you shall be responsible for the operations of the association. Your duties as elected officers include assisting the president in every way possible as you conduct association business. Throughout your work, you will be in a position to represent IIDA and greatly impact its professional image and credibility. Do you accept these responsibilities? Collectively, as newly elected officers of the association, do you agree to maintain the integrity of the association's bylaws and policies, to execute the board's directives, and to do all within your power to promote the growth and continued success of the International Board Design Association? Yes. Congratulations. James Kerrigan, will you join me at the podium for the President's oath? James, in electing you president, the association has conferred upon you great responsibilities. Where's your cape? You shall see that the bylaws of the association are enforced. You will preside at all meetings of the board of directors, and you shall see that all orders and resolutions of the board are carried out. As the most visible representative of the association within the industry, you shall keep the purposes and mandate of IIDA foremost. Do you accept these responsibilities?
I do.
Now, I am delighted and honored to present IIDA's new president, James Kerrigan, to deliver his presidential remarks.
Thank you. It's a tough crowd to follow on, really. You know, I'm not sure what's going to be more difficult to follow, Jim Williamson's comedy stylings or Max Stoper's jeans, really. But I'll try. It's been a pleasure to be here watching this unfold today. So, hello everyone. I am, it's great to be here, and welcome to you all, the members, our industry partners, the College of Fellows, Board of Directors, for being part of this today and joining us in person and online. My name is James Kerrigan. I am delighted to be and honored to be stepping into the role of President of the International Board of Directors for the International Interior Design Association. And speaking of international, as you probably gathered by my accent, I'm not from around here. And no, this accent wasn't acquired by some Rosetta Stone online membership, though I have told people in the past I'm from Alabama. So I thought I would take a few moments to let you know a little bit about my background and my journey in design. I am originally from the UK, a place called Morecambe, and if any one of you have heard of that, I will really fall over. But mostly grew up in Liverpool. So as a side note to this photo I'm about to show, during my time on the board of directors, over the last couple of years, my apparent preference for unbuttoned shirts has gained some notice. Yeah. And as you can see, this trend started quite early, apparently. Yeah, and my mum was really quite distraught by the time this picture was taken. So, and as I say, at least there's no jewelry visible. So, a little bit about my background. My parents moved to Western Australia, Perth, Western Australia, in 1988, and I was 13. And incidentally, they'd never been to Australia, no Yelp reviews or TripAdvisor ratings to reference. And it's quite wild for me to think now about an era where I can't seem to pick dinner without reading strangers' reviews about where to inform my decision-making and where to go, that they made this trip. My folks still live there today, and my little brother, who's now not so little, is there as well. And so you can see. As a result, Australia really is home for me. And one of the only downsides to living in the States now is really not getting back there to see family as much as I would really like. And often, as I say sincerely, I really feel I've had the best of both worlds, getting to live in a number of places. So after school and studying design in Australia and starting my career in Perth, I did what most self-respecting Australians do in their 20s. I relocated to London for a year, working at a boutique firm called Marie Smith. Incidentally, I learned some months after, apart from getting the gig from my portfolio, they happened to notice my shoes, and that apparently passed the fashion police's muster. So they felt there was a strong correlation between shoes and personalities, believe it or not. So London was a great fun, and though I've probably seen more, enjoyed more of it since as a tourist than that year that I lived there, I then moved to Dublin and had 4 fantastic years working for a firm called Lewis Hickey. It was an incredible time to be there personally and professionally. We really did work hard, and we certainly played hard as well. And a highlight was a crazy project from the year 2000. It was for a company called Worldport, and it was really more design as you build than anything else, and I don't recommend it. The contractor mobilized to site with 2 structural drawings, and we spent about 6 months trying to catch up with the rest of it, and I'm really not joking about that. And challenging is an understatement, but what we delivered and what I learned through that process really made up for it, almost. My first visit to the US was in 2003, and that was New York, and it made quite an impact on a number of levels. So after a few years of living back in Australia, a number of factors in life brought me to live in the US, and that was 2007. The last 10 years have been fascinating, exciting, and at times incredibly challenging, but never dull, and I've learned a lot. I was based in LA for 4 years. I spent 6 years in DC, and of last month, I'm based in Texas. So I'm 3 weeks in, and I needed to work on my drawl, y'all. So outside of design, my interests include my dog, Cassie. She's about 55-ish pounds of sweetness, attitude, toughness in a compact package. She's done some naughty things in a time, but is an entertaining and endless source of fun. But at least she has a discerning interest in design and furniture. That was not my sofa. Yeah, I got to buy someone a new sofa. Also, motorcycles, making bike trips across North America has been a particular enjoyment of mine. Certainly, I've enjoyed the places, not always some of the people that I've met along the way, it has to be said. And I wouldn't have smiled so much in that photo if I'd known how much it was going to cost me, I can promise you. But, there's something about bikes and the design of them and the materials, they've always sort of appealed to me. And then a few years ago, I started riding them. So there we have it. And moving on, another interest of mine has been music. And so it was great to see Max Stoper's performance and hear some music. I also have a passion for guitars as well. I drew them long before I could play them, and now I do get to play them. And again, I was always drawn to the design of them. I still am, actually. But I just recently left a band after leaving DC. And for me, playing in a band and making music with others seems to have a lot of parallels to design practice. It's collaborative, it involves sharing ideas, developing common goals, hopefully, and each delivering their own unique part. And the sum often is greater than the parts. In design, I completely value the collaborative, integrated nature of what we do. It allows us to do what we do, and I would like to acknowledge the support and expertise of my colleagues at Jacobs. The expertise and capabilities that I get to witness every day makes me appreciate the value of our organization for our clients as we strive to provide solutions for a more connected, sustainable world. In some ways, I think this notion of living in different places informed and influenced my work, and having had the opportunity to see and experience different perspectives of people and places. Listening to what our clients want is such a big part of what we do. And I love the challenge of working with a team to synthesize what we hear, bring solutions, both expected and unexpected, to the table. I'm very grateful to the people along the way who've been mentors to me, whether they've realized it or not at the time. There have been a number of colleagues and clients, people who took the time to help me and put their faith in me. And for example, there's Bob Thomas in Australia. He's an industrial designer whose technical expertise, good humor, is only surpassed by his gift for profanity. He clued me in to how things are made together. It's all about gaps, junctions, and tolerances. And that was a big thing for me at the time. Sean Cardi from Dublin, a business owner who trusted me to work on his house, although I was relatively inexperienced at the time. His advocacy, support, and confidence in the work I was doing helped me to continue to move forward. I doubt either of these individuals, or the others too numerous to name from my past or the present, realize what their influence has been for me today. A common theme in many of these influences is their ability and willingness to share their knowledge, perspective, support, advocacy, and professionalism. For me, these are all qualities that the IIDA represent, and the reason why I wanted to be a part of it in the first place. Our collective membership, the participation with the support of headquarters, moves us forward as a profession that continues to gain value and recognition. As I mentioned earlier, to be able to hold this role for the next year is a professional highlight and an honor. Some of the issues that the board is keen to focus on include continuing the process of expanding the reach of the IIDA. Increasingly, our practice is international, and having a global presence seems key to advancing our practice. It benefits us all when we find ourselves working in an increasingly connected world. Providing essential industry content through all mediums that further illustrate the tangible benefits of being a part of IIDA and elevates our position as the Association for Commercial Interior Design Thought Leadership. Ultimately, it is my goal to continue to serve and participate, learning from the examples of leadership of Marlene Liriano and Scott Herlinger. I'm constantly impressed by the expertise and insight the board members bring to topics we consider. New member Annie Chu exemplifies these qualities and is another voice that will bring further perspective to the group. Finally, I want to take a moment to congratulate all the IIDA members we have honored today. You exemplify and illustrate the accomplishments of the practice of design. Congratulations to the Member of the Year, Student of the Year, the Educator of the Year, the recipients of the Titan and Star Awards, and this year's inductees to the College of Fellows and the President's Council. We're grateful that you are all part of IIDA. Thank you for being here. See you at the new headquarters on Monday afternoon, in the Mart, or at least in the queue for the elevators. Have a fantastic, informative, and safe NeoCon. Cheers.
Thank you, James, for sharing your professional vision and your personality and your accent with us. I swear it sounds better to stand in a queue than a line. It's just something about it. We have so much to look forward to over the coming year, and we're all excited about working with the new board and chapter leaders as we plan for the future of design. So before you do your first order of business, I want to just ask everyone in the audience, if you have a button on your shirt, just unbutton it one more for James, in his honor. And for your first order of business as president, would you please announce the date of the 2018 annual meeting?
I'm pleased to announce the 2018 IIDA annual meeting scheduled for Sunday, June 10th, 2018. I wish you all success in the coming year in your personal and professional endeavors. Now, won't you please join me and the IIDA in celebrating today's honorees at our VIP reception, which begins right now. Thank you.
That was great. That was great. Could have shielded.